All right, we are recording. Well, welcome. It's October 29th, 2018, and we are home a week now from our awesome Tampa Juice Plus Live. And I think we've got tons of people on the call tonight, so welcome everyone. I didn't even get to say hi to everybody. Crystal, Jenna, see you guys now, and Shannon, it's great to see everybody. We had an awesome conference, right guys? Totally awesome conference. And so Mel and I are going to lead the call. Mel's out on the other coast or close to it in Lake Tahoe. And she's got a special guest with us tonight, Steve Shapiro, from our corporate office. And you guys, whether this was your first conference or it was your 23rd conference like it was for me, we love our home office so much. We love the Juice Plus company. We love this mission that came out of Jay Martin's vision, and we are so fortunate for the support that we get from them and just vast talent that they pour into us day after day and tirelessly travel and really work on our behalf so that we get the message out there that truly inspires healthy living around the world. So Mel, you want to have Steve talk for a few, or what do you want to say?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. I'd love to hear from him about, I don't know, how you're kind of feeling from, hearing from reps about how conference went, or maybe your own takeaway, just real quick. It doesn't have to be long, but yeah.
I'll keep it short because you guys have your meeting. So first of all, we were thrilled with conference ourselves. The feedback has been overwhelmingly positive. I think that people especially liked some of the free time that they had. Between sessions. They like the fact that it went from 3 to 6 on Thursday. So people can go make dinner plans and such. I think the presentations went over really well too. And I have to say that the people that present, I worked on 2 of them, one with the events team and one with Andrea Bond on building a business. And they worked so hard on those. They worked like 4 or 5 weeks on these presentations, a couple of times a week, meeting on Zoom. Meeting without me, meeting by themselves. And I'm just so proud of the work that our representatives do because this conference is really about representatives. It's not really about corporate. And so what we try to do is try to give our representatives, the 7,000 people that attend, what they need to help them build their business. And the feedback we've gotten is that we've done that. And I'm really, really glad to see it. Now, the key thing is how do we take that momentum, right, and use it, especially in this fourth quarter, right, in October, November, December, even into January. Like, how do we ride that momentum so everybody can bring a lot of new people to the company and help them, realize their dreams and goals. So that's our, I wouldn't even say it's a concern, but it's front and center, especially in my mind, is like, we have to make sure that people who feel really good about the company right now and feel really good about the mission that we have, like you mentioned, and feel good about the opportunity in front of them, that we follow through on it and that we support people in the best way we can. And so if there's anything that we can do to help support you and anything I can do to help support you, please let me know and please let us know. And I hope that all of you are familiar with the incentive that we put forth, a recruiting incentive for the next 3 months. It runs through January. And it's for the people who are already in leadership or already recruiting and the people that you're bringing in. So just think about it. If you're engaged in your business and every person on your team brought in 2 new HLPs every month, what that could mean. Like, just think about the amount of money it could mean, the free conference tickets that you can make, right? And the possibilities of growing your team. So I just want to make sure we keep that front and center. Every call that you do with your team, whether it's a small call or you have a meeting with, just make sure we're talking about that incentive. So everybody have a great night. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but have a great night. And I want to thank you, all of you, for what you do every day.
Awesome. Thanks, Steve.
Well,
I just am so grateful. I mean, look at the support that we have. He's here with me right now. I don't know if it gets any better than that about how much they have our back here at the with the corporate office. So I'll just share real quick because we have an event coming up. That's why he's here. We're doing an event at my house tonight. So I'm just going to go ahead and share what I wanted to share, kind of my vision, and he was talking about momentum of what we have, kind of continuing that out of conference. And really the vision that I got at conference was this big overlying kind of higher vision of what we're a part of and how we can really change the world. And I think our company and from the corporate office, the leadership really kind of painted this picture of what's good for health is good, you know, it's good for everybody. Everybody needs it, but we need this army of people to rise up to help us spread this vision of health and happiness, and also, you know, wealth and financial freedom. And we are that army. And with those incentives that they put out for us, we're going to gather some people to really help us on this mission of inspiring healthy living. I'm jazzed because it is this higher level conversation that we're having that is, you know, what's good for health is good for the planet. The more plants that people eat, the healthier our planet is. And that's health for future generations, not only from a physical health standpoint, but the health of our planet and sustainability of our planet. And what we have with the Tower Garden and that conversation as well is a really awesome conversation to be a part of. And I have never come out of a conference more proud of what we are a part of, what we've aligned ourselves with, and how exciting it is. And I want to bring on more people to have this ability to work with this amazing company and these amazing people that have our back. So I'm super excited. I'm starting off right now, having an event tonight, and we've got 3 more events coming up tomorrow and on Wednesday. So who cares about Halloween? Trick-or-treating, whatever. We're going to go get some people healthy. So I don't know. That's kind of my vision of what I saw from conference. So love to hear from everybody else too.
That is awesome. Okay, Mel, go get them. So you have got so much activity happening, and it's just really exciting. So I love what you said. We want to take the bulk of the call for you guys to share your nuggets and your takeaways. So who would like to go first, or second or third, depending on how you look at it? Missy Kaiser, my girl, you gotta unmute yourself. Oh, here, I got it. Or I don't. There we go.
Yeah, you had to do something and then I could get it. I had, like Mel said, I just think, and you said it, it was an exciting conference, and they always are, but this one, and they all hit differently, but this one got me. So there are some things that were more motivational, because I'm just going to hit some of the people that spoke and talk specifically about that. But there on Friday morning, there were three NMDs that spoke: Mary Koenig, Stacy Whitmer, and Melinda Hutchins. And there were a couple things. Their talk was about building a strong foundation with events. And there were just a couple things out of that I thought were motivational and practical. And one was in their mindset message was never give up. And that was, while doing an event, take pictures and post it all over social media, which I thought was, people do that, but it was so clear to me when they spoke about it. It's like, well, of course, we got to post that everywhere, that we're doing great, fun things and good things are happening for people. So I thought that was a real practical thing for people to remember, even though we've been told it before. Another real practical thing was reach out to a prospect and build an event around them, so that there's somebody that you really want to get in to go with you or to invite them. And so their verbiage was, hey, I'm hosting an event at my house. I'd love for you to be there. What's your availability like? And then you go ahead and plan around that, because it kind of, you know, you've gotten them connected in there, and then you can build around that and hope that you get more than that one person. But I just thought that was great practical info. And then one of my other, I have way too much, so I'm just going to pick one of the other things that I thought was terrific was Andrea Bond, who talked about team building to success. And she said, develop a marathon mentality. And I just love the fact that she said this out loud, because sometimes we spend so much time comparing ourselves to someone else. And I'm so guilty of that and thinking, well, I didn't do that and I didn't do this and blah, 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 blah. And when she said, it's my marathon and it's my speed, and I'm only defeated when I quit. So don't worry about what everyone else's pace is. It's my marathon and my speed. So I thought that was right, Rachel? Aren't you the marathoner? So I just thought that was spectacular. I thought it was really important. And then one of my other favorite things she said, I think she was the one that talked to Carrie Daigle, am I right? Okay. And she was saying she wanted to get to NMD and what did she need to do and could he please help her get there? And he gave her a suggestion. This is what she needed to do. And she started to say, well, I don't think I can do that. And he said, well, you know what? We're done if you can't stretch yourself. It's like, oh God. So I love the fact that sometimes we say we can't, I can't do that. I'm not very good at this. And to have someone say, okay, I'm done. I can't help you. It's kind of like, yeah, we do have to stretch ourselves and say, maybe I have to get out of my safety zone and move forward. So those were some of my very, very favorites. So,
awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just want to add, that was so good what you just said. And I know those two really well because those are the two that I got to work on. And I'm so glad the message got through that both groups wanted to get through. And that's exactly what they were thinking. The one you mentioned about events and building it around one or two prospects, just not having an event and say, I want to have an event next Wednesday, but saying, you know what, I'm going to call the two people I really want on my team first to make sure they're available, and then invite everybody else around them to make sure that those people are going to be there. And you know what? An event can be you and two people at a coffee shop too, by the way. That could be an event for you. It doesn't, and if you invite a lot of people and 3 people show up, you know what? That's okay. That's okay. And you know what you do? You go on social media and tell everybody what a great time you had. Nobody has to know the 3 people showed up. You just say, we had a great time. We can't wait to see you next time. So those are great. I'm really so glad to hear you say that.
Can I call on Carol real quick to share, because I know she's got an appointment she needs to get to, but I really want you guys to hear from Dr. Carol. And if you haven't met her, she's a pediatrician. She's awesome. So
thanks. Hi. So yeah, the reason I was so excited to go to the conference was actually for the nutraceutical part at the beginning, because I knew that there would be a bunch of doctors there and, really like the science behind it. That's where I get really into it. And it really just reinforced what I already know, which is that, this is amazing produce that you can put into your body in a really simple way. And it does all the things that having an extra produce in your diet would do, like it makes you healthier overall, which is great. The hard part for me is talking about it. Like, how do I get people as excited about it as I am about it? And so I talked to another doctor there, another Dr. Carol actually, and asked, how do you share this in your practice? Because I'm just not sure how to bring it up, and I don't want to come across as like trying to sell people something. And she said, she gave me some great ways to talk about it, really just asking them first off, like, have I talked to you about Juice Plus yet? Which is a great, gentle way to say it, because my way is more like, have you heard of Juice Plus? Just to kind of see like if people have, if they have opinions already. But saying, have I talked to you about Juice Plus is like, I have something to share with you. I have a story that goes with this, and it's a good story, and, I know this can help you. And so I thought that was really inspiring. And then just what they had said about social media and stuff too. I went on Facebook and just posted like random poll which of my friends take Juice Plus, and it was really neat to find out like who already was on it. And then a couple of other people expressed interest, and one of my mom's friends was recently diagnosed with cancer and said she's been looking for something to kind of turn her health around and a change that she could make. And I was like, this is perfect. So we got her set up and she was really happy. So just thinking of sort of different ways to approach people, because I know people all over the world, and it's like, how am I gonna get to those people? So yeah, that was really cool. Yeah. I think that's it.
Carol's been on fire since she's come home from conference. Talk about momentum. Just finishing up her 2,000 plus. Woohoo!
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's awesome. Thanks, Carol, for sharing. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Oh, I just want to say one other thing that resonated. All the people on the stage that were talking about how they were moms, like a lot of them, they were new moms, and I'm a new mom, and I'm like, this is real. This could really happen as a business. So that was really inspiring.
Awesome.
I'm glad you said that, because I think one of my favorite moments was watching your daughter crawl around at our team dinner on the floor. And I actually took pictures of her crawling between your legs. And I was like, one of the things I believe in so strongly is that I want to empower women to have choices, but not to give up and not to have to choose between, because being a mother is really one of the most valuable things you can contribute on our planet. But we also have so much we can contribute with Juice Plus, and you can do both. And I just was really inspired by you, Carol. Who wants to go next? Stephanie. Okay, there you are.
So I was really excited because conference kind of helped close a gap for me where I was really struggling, with, I know it sounds weird, but my style, what's my style? How am I going to approach this? And I felt like, I've kind of done the events at my house for my close friends and the people that I know in my warm market. I'm like, I've tapped out kind of, and I know I'm going to continue doing those, but I was looking for just something else to help me go really after the vision of the mission. And I heard that this summer a lot at the Philly Summit, but I didn't know how to do it. And I felt like this conference really helped me figure that out. And I think it was a combination of, everybody. First of all, just the approach of conference. I was like, well, I could approach my events that way and have different events with different ideas according to wellness. But I really love David Katz. I mean, the man's so brilliant. It just blew my mind. I was like, slow down. I can't absorb it fast enough. And I loved how he ended his presentation with just kind of this call to, like Mel said, his army, and how can we be that army, and then be it in our own style. And then there was something that Lacey Wheeler said that, am I saying her name right? I think I'm terrible with names. But she talked about doing a picture, doing ginger shots and sending it out on social media. And I was like, oh, I want to be there. And I felt like all of a sudden I could see myself in these events. And I think it was the day I got back, I called Mel and I'm like, I got it. I figured it out. And so I'm going to start kind of a series of events that are got kind of geared toward my customers, as well as, hopefully prospects and supporting customers, but also gathering a pool of resourceful people that are all geared toward, wellness. And so I've already approached my favorite yoga teacher, my favorite bar teacher. I've talked to a friend of mine who's a nutritionist. I haven't heard back yet, but what I want to do is have events where we do yoga, and then we talk about Juice Plus, and then we do bar the next time. And then I did a partnership with Beauty Counter, a shared event with them, and it was so successful, and it just kind of took the pressure off of me and really made it more about just, hey, this is my mission, is to get healthier, to spread that whole idea with everybody. And I just have a lot of people already excited to do that. And I'm really super pumped about my calendar of events coming up. So we're going to do like a gluten and dairy free one where I share all my favorite gluten dairy free products and restaurants in the area, that because we're not Boulder. It's not every restaurant here, but so anyway, that's kind of what it helped me kind of put together as a vision that the conference had. I was like, oh, I can kind of see doing little snippets like that at my events. So
that's awesome. That's so awesome.
What's that?
I'm excited for your event. That's super cool.
Me too.
Who wants to share next?
I'll go.
Oh, okay. Jenna, then Jackie. Awesome.
Is that okay? All right, cool. I think, I've been to many conferences, and I think, what I kind of got out of this one was just, I think there's like a new feeling and a new vibe, especially within our team. And I kind of just love that. I don't know what it is. I can't really put my finger on the word for it, but I feel, we've always been there to kind of support and help each other, but I feel like I just sense this cohesion within the group. And it was just so much fun to like meet everybody and see their faces, that we see on Zoom every week, and just kind of bounce ideas off each other. But I've been doing this for so long, and sometimes it gets hard because you're in the right spot, but it's just that one thing that kind of has to change for you. And so I think, I heard a lot about people saying like, stay the course, and you're not defeated, if you kind of fail. You're only defeated if you quit. And I heard somebody say that, and it was just amazing. I have so many ideas. I've already come home, and I have 2 people interested in the business already. And it's just, I think it's just my mindset. And that's all because of you guys and how excited you are and how passionate you are about the product and the business. And, one thing I took away, I think it was Ali Schneider. She said, if you think that you're being pushy, kind of reframe some of the words that you're thinking in your head, which is great. So if you're thinking that you're being pushy, think about it as you're being professional. If you think you're bothering somebody, think about it as caring for somebody. And if you're worried about what others think, just start thinking about, what's in it for them? How can I help them? So those are kind of the nuggets that I took away, but it was just such a wonderful conference overall. And I just love what's happening within the team.
That's so awesome. Okay, Jackie, here, I'm going to unmute you.
Okay. So I think that this has been my favorite conference so far. I think it's maybe my 7th or 8th, but I just thought it was so good. There was a lot of takeaways, but I think 2 big things that I took away from it. One was also Dr. David Katz. I know a lot of people are talking about him, but I was so happy that the things that have been in my brain for a long time, like somebody was like on the stage saying it to this army of people, which I was just so excited about. So I wrote down a couple things that he said. And one was that there are no healthy people on an uninhabitable planet. And you can't be a health professional without talking about the health of the planet. And so just him being up there and talking about the importance of animal agriculture and how it impacts our planet and how we as health professionals have a piece in that puzzle. That was just huge for me. And I was so excited that was being shared with more people. And I think a lot of people around me were like, oh yeah, that totally makes sense. So that was my big thing with him. And then also something that I always take away from every conference is there's no one right way to do this business. There, are so many different people that are successful and a lot of people that are doing it in so many different ways, whether it's, someone that's awesome at events or someone that's awesome at social media or somewhere in between. And there's people that are going really fast and there's people that, take 20 years and however it looks for you is okay. And that's just the great thing about this business is that there's just no one right way. And, it's just more reassurance that, we're all doing it right. We're doing it what works for us. So those are mine.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Okay, can we hear from Erica Frericks? Here, I'm going to unmute you.
I got it, girl. I got it. Okay. I told Megan I wasn't going to talk tonight. I was peacing out for the night. So I did not take as many notes this time as I have in the past. I'm a note taker, but honestly, I just had the best conference ever. Like the information that we again was great, but the community was even greater. So this is not like a conference takeaway, but this is what I want to share with you guys because it's like my takeaway. So I've partnered up with some of these great ladies, and we have like a little SSC or bus group, and we're just sharing ideas together and supporting one another. And that's like my favorite thing ever, because these are people that I would not know without this great mission. And so I'm pretty excited about that. But we came home, Megan and I have come home just kind of on fire and excited to go out and take over the world and share Juice Plus everywhere we go. So we're pretty excited. That's it. That's what I would share.
That is awesome. That's awesome. It's a lot of impact, like the deeper that you get into the community, and also hearing that it's a series of exposures for all of us in our growth journey, right? You know, Stephanie talked about being at the Philly Summit and then kind of what really got her at conference. It's so cool. Okay, we have so many more people to hear from, and we'll try and wrap up in maybe the next 5 to 7 minutes, but who would like to go next? Patty! Okay.
Okay, got it. Okay, well, first of all, most of you know I was kind of out of commission for a little bit with a urinary tract infection, so I missed most of it, but I did get to some of it. But there's 2 points that I want to make, and the first one is that the company of Juice Plus is always giving us incentive to do more. And is it Steve who spoke earlier who said about the bonus, the HLP bonuses? I mean, you know, that just speaks volumes. Plus, I believe I heard that the company actually gave away $1.4 million or something in bonuses. I don't know what that time frame was. I don't know if it was last year or from conference to conference or whatever. I don't know. But it's just mind-boggling that the company, I mean, we always have to have incentive, but those incentives are very generous. So those were 2. That and then the last thing is about the TeamZ. You know, them partnering up with TeamZ so that we can get a really good discounted break on that program, which is pretty pricey, and because they care about us and about how we're doing our business. And then something that actually happened before conference was, I don't know if it was Janet Black or if it was Meredith, but one of them sent a Facebook post and said, you know, what do you think about the Freedom Revolution and HealthyRevolution.coms, and took all of our advice. And I have a feeling as it goes forward, things are going to start, you know, changing still to help us. And I think that that's the key. And obviously a company needs to take care of their representatives, but I think Juice Plus really goes over the top. And I think that was my takeaway. Bobby, do you have anything?
No, I think that's great.
Bobby didn't have anything, but thanks. And it was great to see you all, by the way.
That is great. Okay, who else would like to go? Jamie, awesome. Hold on. No, I can't hear you. Now I can.
Can you?
Yeah.
Okay. So I feel like everyone's kind of touched on a lot of the things that I took away as well, but I loved David Katz, and so I wrote down several things that he said that really resonated with me, and I'll tell you why in a second. So he talked about how there's basically three things that reduce the risk of all disease by 80%. And he said, quit smoking, eat better, more plants, and move your body more. And he talked about how lifestyle matters so much when it comes to our health. He also talked about, he said diet is the leading cause of death in the United States, which kind of blew me away. And then he also talked about, he said diet is the most important factor for good health. So just all of those things that he was talking about as far as just like diet matters so much. And I have a lot of friends who are in like the health and wellness world and, you know, like nutritionists and dietitians and health coaches and all these great knowledgeable people. And I've seen a lot of posts and articles from them recently that talk about how like there's not one perfect fit for every person, but there is, because the one perfect fit for every person, no matter what diet or like, you know, meal plan or whatever that you're going for, fruits and vegetables are always a component in that. So like, I feel like we have this amazing tool to offer people, like no matter what they're doing, people need to get produce in their bodies. And for a lot of people, that's really hard to do, like no matter what they're doing. And I just think that, you know, he talked about that we have to be the army for the world, like this health army that needs to just like show up for people and offer this amazing tool. And we have that. And I just like, it's just so cool that we have this, this great thing to offer people. And Dave O'Brien was another one. I don't think anyone, I'm not sure if anyone mentioned him so far, but oh my gosh, like his enthusiasm was so freaking infectious. Like I was like, why am I not like that all the time? Like, because that is how excited I am about this company and this business. And I'm like, I should be acting like that, you know? Like he is so unapologetic about his love for what he does and like the things that he was sharing. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I just need to be more like that, like not hiding like how passionate I am for this. So I don't know. It was a great conference. I loved it. And I'm just like so freaking pumped. That's it.
Everybody. That's awesome. Oh, that is super cool. That is super cool. Okay, who else can share with us? Gary. Okay, good. I want to hear from Gary because I know it was his first conference.
Yeah, it was. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, it was just amazing. In all of my past careers, I've been to conferences and conventions and things like that, but never before have I been to one where the camaraderie across geographies was so compelling. That was a big takeaway for me. Like everyone else, Dr. Katz blew my mind. But I'll tell you who else blew my mind, and that was Eve Paul talking about millennials and the Z next generations. And I think that's really where I see a lot of focus needs to be. And it's one effort, you know, I'm fortunate I'm in Tallahassee, so I got Florida State University and Florida A&M. I got basically 3 universities near me. And I'm trying to figure out how I, as a, codger, can connect with some of these college students. So I'm working with a couple of friends who are younger than I at putting together an event down in this artsy craftsy section down by Florida State to see if we can gather some interest from some of these college students that we know would like to eat better but don't, and on their crazy schedules and all of that, they just don't, and they need it more than anybody else. That was a biggie. I also had a great time. I know my rolling around on my knee roller was probably pretty entertaining, but I'm really glad that I came. I wanted to come home and hit the ground running, but as you can see, I'm still a bit hampered. But on my way home, I drove home and I found myself in Ocala Forest and in a mile outside of Eustis, which is where the Living Towers company is, the company that was selling plants, which I bought a few of to put in my garden. But I thought, whoa, what the hell? I'm a mile away. Let me go see what that's all about. And I was blown away by by the Tower Garden operation that I saw there. They had a greenhouse, maybe 300 feet long, probably 50, 60 feet wide. And it was half solid towers that were triple towers, and I hadn't seen that before, where they, instead of just your normal 5 sections, it was 3 times that tall, and probably 75 to 100 towers, It was quite amazing. The people there didn't have a whole lot of time to talk to me because they were unloading themselves from the convention. But it was a great experience just to kind of see how that works, and to come away with fresh plants for my tower, which is doing great, by the way, despite the recent hurricane. It doesn't work when you don't have any power. That I learned real quick. But anyway,
a generator if you get like a family farm, right?
Yes. It was really fun. Great to meet all of you folks, and I look forward to the next opportunity.
That is so great. Okay, we have like 2 more people I just want to hear from for a quick minute. Megan Dickinson, first conference. Tell us what you thought, and then Rachel Van Pelt. Please like give us a little wrap after Megan goes. Zoom.
Hi.
Hi.
I just really loved conference, you know. I haven't been to one in a while, and it was just really exciting meeting the whole team, all you Denver people. I really like seeing all your beautiful faces in person, and just getting, you know, a better vision for what to do and how to talk to people better. I feel like I've really been successful talking to clients this week about Juice Plus and how they incorporate it into their lifestyle.
That's awesome. And I think you have a bunch of new customers since you came home. So I know you're taking off, which is exciting. Okay. Rachel Van Pelt, tell us in a couple sentences what you thought.
Oh, I just have to quickly say, I think everybody really touched on some important things. And, you know, I was excited to go to the nutraceutical conference for the first time. You know, last year was when Reagan first invited me to try Juice Plus and try to suggest that I should go to the nutraceuticals conference. And of course I was like, well, it's a little bit science light for me compared to what I'm used to. And I didn't really see the value in it. But of course this year, a year later, now, you know, appreciating the mission, I saw it in a whole new light. And yes, the science, it was a little light on the science and more, you know, David Katz and people who are more showmen, you know, not really, he puts a lot of scientific articles on the screen, but doesn't talk about the science per se. But, you know, I realized, of course, the reason I left academia is because the word's not getting out to people. Only other geeky scientists read the science. And you've got to have people who can translate that to the public. And that's why it's important to have people like David Katz and have people like Dave O'Brien who can get people pumped up and get people excited. Because, you know, the funny thing is I was at the nutraceuticals thing, and after David Katz's talk, I was in line for the bathroom, and I was standing next to a pediatrician. It was like, well, that was a great talk, but still, what do I tell my patients? And so that's where the Army comes in. That's where we come in. If we can translate that to the public, that excitement, that the simple language of it's not hard. Eat food, not too much, right? Mostly plants. And that's the sort of the take home message. And we have that. We've got plant powders and capsules, and you know, I met with, real quickly, I just say I also met with Dr. Lamprecht, you know, over lunch on Friday, and to talk about the research. And I'm of course very excited about the research, and I'm happy to tell people about what's going on there with the Institute. But, you know, the research is important, and that's critical, and they're trying to be at the forefront of nutraceutical science. And that really makes me happy as a scientist. But it's still absolutely critical. Even Dr. Lamprecht would say, he's like, I can't sell anything. How are, you know, he's asking me, how am I doing with it? I'm like, well, not so good. I got to learn how to sell. But, you know, I got to learn how to share with people and show that excitement. And, you know, and so, yeah, like Jamie said, I would love to be able to, you know, show the excitement of a Dave O'Brien or a David Katz. And, you know, we can do that. And I think this team does a good job of teaching us how to do that, how to translate, you know, the message to the masses. So that's just what I had to say. It was a great conference.
It was awesome. Well, let's just wrap it up by saying thank you for everybody that came to Tampa, but thank you everybody on our teams who, you guys just contribute so much fun, so much excitement, and making that impact. You are the feet on the ground. So let's go out and make some month-end magic. We got a couple business days left in the month, and Thursday will be qualifiers day. And also take a half hour to listen to the Kurt Beavers wrap up. He did a great job concisely wrapping it up. It's a great tool for anybody on your teams that missed conference and maybe missed this call as well. Just giving you the bullets of it. But let's go make a huge difference and talk to tons of people, and let's rake in those bonuses, give ourselves some Christmas bonuses, right? This new bonus incentive, we're so thankful to corporate for extending it to us. So thanks, everybody. Good night.
Night.
Thanks, Ellen, and thanks, everybody. Great call.